Welcome to Bay Focus. Thank you for tuning in again. Well, you want to stay tuned for this whole show. There are some exciting events coming up heading into the fall season here with ministries that we're going to get updates from today. A couple of ministries we've had on in recently, in the last couple of years, but are doing amazing work rescuing victims from human trafficking, working in foster care. You want to partner with these organizations. We're going to talk with the NOMORE Foundation in just a moment. And then also Selah Freedom is working with victims of human trafficking. But before we sit down and talk with the co-founder of the NOMORE Foundation, let's take a look at a video report of what they do and how they got started. Let's take a look.
It all started with two simple words: no more. In a world where vulnerabilities can be misunderstood, overlooked, or even ignored, No More connects people to care.
Today we are faced with alarming statistics. 20 million people are enslaved more than any other time in human history. Roughly 143 million orphans, over 500,000 in the U.S. foster care system, and 11% of U.S. families live below the poverty line, not to mention the rest of the world. It's overwhelming to think about, but at No More, we believe that community transformation is found at the intersection where awareness and mobilization meet.
Our mission is simple. We want to move 1 million Christians to action to serve the vulnerable. And with strategic initiatives, our focus is to help orphan and at-risk children in the foster care system, those in poverty, and victims of human trafficking.
We do this by providing direct opportunities for individuals, businesses, and churches to be educated and connected to serve through trainings, events, and outreaches.
After our awareness events, 97% of people sign up to take action. The desire to do good and create community change is there. Many people just need their next right step.
And we're committed to doing whatever it takes to equip people to be the hands and feet of Jesus to those in need. So join us today and be a part of the movement. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we declare no more.
Well, that gives you a little bit of a look at the NOMORE Foundation, and the woman you saw on there, the co-founder of the NOMORE Foundation, is with us today, Tammy Kent.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming back.
Yeah,
it's been a few months. It's been, I think, around 5-6 months since we've had on, and we're going to give our viewers that maybe that was the first time meeting you when you were on some months ago. But some of our viewers may be brand new today and don't know the NOMORE Foundation. We gave them a little bit of a glimpse into it.
Right.
But before I want to get into some specifics on some updates on the ministry since you've been here. But before we do, I want to start the interview with this because our viewers may be able to participate. You have a big event coming up. What's going on?
We do. We have our annual gala. It's coming up on Saturday, September 28th. It's going to be held at the historic Centro de Estoriano in Tampa. Its theme this year is There's No Place Like Home. The work that we do with the NOMORE Foundation is wrapped around families that are struggling below the poverty line, orphans and at-risk children, and survivors of human trafficking. And a lot of the work that we do is focused on providing safe and loving homes, supporting homes that are struggling, providing homes for healing and redemption for those who have been caught in the trap of human trafficking. And so the theme of There's No Place Like Home is just an opportunity for people to come alongside and make home possible. I mean, for those of us who have fond memories of home, that is a gift that not everyone gets. But we as believers and followers of Christ have an opportunity to give the gift of home. And so we would love to invite people to come out and to just be a part of making that possible for those.
Because, you know, it takes people catching the vision and helping support ministries like this. Okay, you have a connectivity that you talk about. I want to bring that up again because you talk about poverty, you talk about foster care orphans that end up, and then you talk about victims of human trafficking.
Right.
That's a connection I don't think people often see. Explain that.
Sure. We often talk about the link. 13 years ago, when we launched the No More Foundation, I couldn't articulate it the way I can today. But where you find poverty, you find vulnerability, homelessness, addiction, greater numbers of children being removed from their home due to abuse and neglect and abandonment. And where those vulnerabilities exist, exploitation occurs. And we want to help people see the thread that ties the issues together, that we don't have these issues that are independent of one another. We see that in our own community. Tampa Bay is #1 in the state for children in the system of care. So children that have been removed from their homes, that need safe and loving homes. But also in the greater Tampa Bay area in Florida, we're #3 in the nation for calls to the human trafficking hotline. So we see those two things at work in our community. But what most people don't link is that 60%, and again, it's the most current number, but I've had people tell me they think it might be a low number. 60% of victims of human trafficking here in the United States have a history in the foster care system. So those children that don't find safe and loving homes, those families that aren't able, to be shored up, those single mamas and daddies and people that are struggling, to keep the family together, if they don't have the support of the community, they're at risk. They're at risk for those vulnerabilities. They're at risk for exploitation. Yeah. And we declare no more. We say no more.
I love that. I love just say no more. How do you address all these areas with this ministry?
So we believe that community transformation is found at that intersection where awareness and mobilization meet. Because you can't affect change if you don't understand what's happening. So we come into communities with awareness events. We've got anti-trafficking training that we bring to communities to really help put a face, a name, and a story with these issues that can just be big and sometimes scary. And then we also provide direct and immediate opportunities for people to respond through outreach. We coordinate outreaches ourselves as an organization, but then we also partner people with frontline ministries that are there, that are doing the work, and just help connect those dots. Most people want to do something. Most people, you think about it, when we grow up as kids, we want to be doctors, we want to be firemen, we want to protect people. That desire, I think, is God placed. That's eternity written on the hearts of all men. But most people look at the issues in our community and it's like, they don't know how to get involved. They don't know where to go, when, what opportunities are available, and sometimes even why. Back to how these issues are connected. I mean, I like to say to people, you can be the fence at the top of the hill or the ambulance at the bottom. When you step in to care for that child in the system of care, when you step in to care for that family, that struggling family, you can prevent human trafficking. In that moment of just a simple act of kindness, of stepping in, you can be a part of the prevention of some of these atrocities that we're like, this can't be happening.
Right.
You can really affect change.
You're training, you're educating, you're getting people to sign up for various initiatives. And when you go into churches, you go into a variety of locations. You also deal with some housing, providing housing, correct?
Right, yes. So
this is for the trafficking.
This is on the trafficking side specifically. And I'll tell you how we got involved with that. A few years back, we conducted a survey of organizations in our area, just random, like kind of a random survey, really trying to find out what were the numbers. And we found out that within a 12-month period of time, 152 women, verified victims of human trafficking, had been turned away from the support services that they needed to find healing, help, restoration, because there weren't enough beds. And so we were like, this is an issue we can tackle. And so we began to bang that drum of housing, home, right?
Yeah.
How can we provide safe and loving homes for these women so that they can come out of these situations that are horrific and into these places of hope and freedom and restoration and for future generations.
Yeah.
And so over the past 3 years, we've got some exciting updates.
Yes,
We've expanded the housing. We've added homes in Pinellas County. We now have a home in Pasco County. We've got a home in Hillsborough, but we're going to be opening a 4th home in Hillsborough before the end of this year, and then we'll be opening a home in Polk County as well. So by the end of 2024, we will be funding 5 survivor homes in the Tri-County area, and it's exciting.
So all right, you are so many different, connecting, of course, obviously with foster families, getting people to become foster families, awareness on all of that. So what are the areas that our viewers, they're watching, where can they plug in with you right now?
Well, immediately, an invitation to the gala, because there's an opportunity to come, to hear stories of lives changed, to find out what it looks like when you step into care. In addition, we have outreach opportunities coming up this fall. We do a beautiful Christmas celebration for these survivors of trafficking. We've done it for 10 years. We have a Gathering Joy outreach that we do every December, and churches and businesses and schools get involved. And last year we were able to provide Christmas for 700 children and families, and it's very personal. It's meant to be intentional, but I can, it's like the numbers. We've seen 5,000 families, in the last decade respond to the call to care. We've seen 100,000 people trained, on how to spot human trafficking in their circles. In the last 3 years, 430 women have been served through housing. They're adding that capacity through those housing. That 11,659 survivor support services have been provided, but 18,884 safe bed nights have been given. I mean, there are some incredible things happening in our community. People can be a part of that. Everything
I would think volunteers would be critical.
Volunteers are necessary. The organizations that we partner with, it's needed. The need is great. What does the scripture say, right? The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. There are so many ways people can plug in, and we just want to help people find out what that looks like for them.
Well, all right. Well, that's a great way, and I want to mention again, you're going to see in just a moment on the screen again how you can find out more about the gala coming up. But, the one thing I want to mention, Tammy, the amazing thing, and always, when I've had you on the show, is you come from such a rich history and ministry yourself. This is a story we didn't have time to this time. We'll do it in a future update again. But how God spoke to you and your husband, Jamie, to start this organization and how your past experiences and how your lives came together. God prepared you for this. God prepared you for this. And I am just so impressed with what you're doing and all the directions that you cover in this. And we know that God is going to continue to bless. So the best is yet to come. But I mean, wow, so much work to be done.
So much work to be done. But what an honor to be able to do it, to prepare a place for the presence of God to encounter the lives of people. Someday, eternity will measure that number, but it's all for His glory. And so we're just honored to get to be a part of it, to invite people in to being a part of what God is doing.
I love it, Tammy. Thank you so much
for
coming on
me.
Giving us the update. And on the screen, you're going to see information about their upcoming gala again. Stay tuned for more of Bay Focus. We will be right back. Well, we're back, and the theme today is we're really talking about helping people that are caught in issues like human trafficking, sex trafficking, need foster care, a variety of ways to help people that ministries can come alongside. And we have another ministry back with us to update us on what's going on with them, Selah Freedom, and we have Stacy Efall, who is the executive director. Welcome back, Stacy.
Thank you. Thank
you
you so
for
much.
coming on the show again. What you do is so amazing. You target your ministry and your organization to meeting the needs of survivors and helping people come out of sex trafficking, human trafficking.
Yes.
But I'm curious first, tell us why Selah, what that means, the name of that organization.
Yeah. Selah is a Hebrew word that means pause, rest, and reflect. And that's really what we give the survivors. They've been on this hamster wheel of just trying to stay alive. When they come to Selah Freedom, we give them that time to just stop, get to learn who they are, rest, feel peace for the first time in a long time, and be able to stabilize themselves.
Well, now, first of all, I want to give our viewers an idea of where you're located, because you have multiple locations. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we're mainly located in the middle of Florida. We have a large campus over in Hillsborough County, Florida, and then also one in Manatee County.
Okay. And within that, you provide a number of services. But before we get into, you have literally 5 areas that you work on. Tell us a little bit about, we may have people who have just joined us today. How prevalent is the problem that we deal with here in this area of human trafficking?
Sex trafficking has been reported in every zip code in the U.S., so it's very prevalent. Unfortunately for us in Florida, Florida ranks 3rd in the U.S. of number of reported incidences of trafficking. And then the Tampa Bay area, which includes Sarasota, Manatee, Tampa, Pinellas County, that is higher than Miami right now. So we're one of the highest in the states.
Wow.
So it's very, very prevalent.
And when you work with rescuing victims and all the different things we're going to talk about that you do, are you getting referrals from like law enforcement? Are you partnering? How are you finding them?
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes they find us, which is great too. We have a great relationship with all the local police departments. So they do call us. A lot of our survivors have come through the law enforcement agencies. We also have women who go into the jails and go to minister to women in the jails. And sometimes they will identify as trafficking victims while they're in the jail. They're too scared to say something to law enforcement, but they'll talk to us. So we can start working with them there. And another way, unfortunately, is the detox centers. A lot of these victims end up overdosing and ending up in detox centers. So we have to be there, and they'll identify to the nurses what's happening.
Yeah.
And then emergency rooms. A lot
Emergency
of
rooms.
rooms.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that would be a big.
Yes.
All right. Before we get into talking about the specifics, you also have we want to help today. We're really helping you all connect, watching how you can support these ministries today. You have a big event coming up. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we have our big gala coming up, and we're very, very honored to have Major League Baseball player Darryl Strawberry as our main speaker. If you know much about him, he has a wonderful story of redemption, and he's going to share that with us. We have that's the same event in 2 different cities on 2 different nights. So in Tampa, it's October 22nd at Armature Works, and then we repeat the same event in Sarasota on November 14th at the Westin. Very excited. It's going to be a wonderful event, great food, and really encourage you to come out.
I love it. That is it. What a great speaker that you have. Great keynote.
Very thankful that he's helping us.
Oh, yeah. And okay, there are literally 5 areas that you work in. And you have such a overall comprehensive approach to helping people, victims. Yes. Tell us about those areas.
Yeah, that is one of the things that really attracted me to come to the position at Selah Freedom, was how comprehensive it was. They basically, I can't take the credit because it was before I started here. Basically, I've thought of everything from beginning to the end for total healing for the survivors and prevention of it. So the first team we have is the awareness team, something like this, going out into the public to educate the public about sex trafficking so that they can be aware, because it really takes the entire community to stop an epidemic like this. And also they know if they see a victim, what they can do. The second team we have is our prevention team. One of the statistics we haven't gotten to is that the average age of someone getting into sex trafficking right now is 12 to 14 years old. The traffickers are targeting our children, which is just horrible. So our prevention team, we have age-appropriate curriculum, and we go into all the schools from kindergarten through college and educate the youth so that they are armed with the knowledge of what to do before they're ever approached by a trafficker or any adult for an inappropriate relationship. Because we want to give them that power so they know to say no, and then also identifies ways to help them identify safe adults they can go to, and they feel like they can talk about it. So we want them to have that knowledge, and we also educate the parents. And the next arm is our outreach team. That's a team that goes into the jails and works along law enforcement and helps identify victims. Sometimes it takes talking to victims 7 to 12 times before they trust you, because they've been hurt so much they don't trust anybody. And why should they trust you? Because you're saying the same thing the trafficker does. So we spend a lot of time meeting with them and getting them to come into the program. And then we have our residential team, where that's the 2 safe houses we have. We have a home campus is more of a short-term house where everybody goes initially, and we develop a safe plan for them and get them where they want to go. They may need to go out of the country. They may need to go to a different state. And then we have our long-term program where they can stay with us for up to 2 years. And that's where we get into things like if they want to go to college and trauma therapy and all the things to help really restore their life. And then lastly, we've developed a consulting program because we're getting calls from all over the world. How do you start a safe house?
Yeah.
And initially, Selah Freedom did try to help start houses in other states, and it's very difficult. So what we would rather do is arm people in those areas with the knowledge, teach them, train them on how to run a safe home. We give them all the curriculum. They come and stay at our house for 2 nights, and then we mentor them so they can go and open their own ministry in their area.
Yeah, wow. There's a lot with this.
Yes.
So many
busy.
different areas, and
Very
pretty much takes
busy.
an army to do this, I would think.
It
But
does.
you have a full,
It
you have staff and then volunteers, I'm sure. But Kate, now when you mentioned, getting trust, building trust and different things, what are you providing, like you said, different aspects of what they need? You have to do some ascertainment of what the needs are. And then do you have like mental health professionals or people that can come alongside, work training? How do you do that?
Yeah, we have one of the first things we focus on is trauma therapy to help them get past the trauma. So we have licensed psychologists that we work with. We also have on staff licensed master social workers who oversee the therapy. We contract with different counselors to come in. We also have a spiritual mentor who comes in and works with the girls. And then we have, from there, we go into their education if they want to develop a plan to go back to school. Everybody in our long-term program has to have a career goal. So whether that's going to school, whether it's getting a job. So we work with them on interviewing, behavior in the workplace, all of that. And then we focus completely on life skills too. Cooking, cleaning, those kind of things. And budgeting is a big one. A lot with budgeting.
So what has been the results? Can you give us some examples or tell us a little bit about what you've seen?
One thing I love is Selah Freedom has an 87% success rate.
Wow, that's phenomenal.
Of the people that graduate our program do not go back to the life of prostitution. It's just, that's an amazing, amazing rate. So I'm very proud of that. We've had one girl go on to get her degree in accounting. Another one got her nail tech license, and she's opened up her own business, and she's so busy, she booked 3 weeks out. You can't get an appointment with her, which is great. We have a girl studying to be a vet tech. We have a lot of, when they're with us in the house, we help them get employment. We have several animal organizations that will employ them while they're in our program, and they get to, really get that love of animals. So many of them have gone on to the veterinary field or animal care.
Yeah, so you are seeing real results. And you mentioned a spiritual mentor and advisor. So what, this obviously, a lot of what you do is you're trying to bring people to a relationship with Christ. So how do you do that? I mean, what are some of the things you do to bring people to faith?
Well, we don't force it.
Yeah.
Number one. We introduce it really through love and caring and offering them the opportunity to meet with a spiritual advisor or Bible study, go to church. We offer all of that to them.
Yeah.
We had one girl who refused it the whole time. Then after she graduated, then she started going to church.
Wow.
So you're putting those in there. You hope that while they're in there, that they accept God, because we know that's really where true healing comes from. So we want them to accept God into their life. Again, not going to force it, but we're showing, God's love through our actions and our caring.
I was going to say that would be, they're watching you.
Yes.
They're just seeing, how is this living out in people that I'm connecting with here? All right, you rely on help, and we're talking about your event coming up too, but people can support you year round. You really need donations as well, correct?
We really, really do. We had some cuts across the nation for federal funding, and that really has caused a burden on us. And we really don't want to rely on the government. We would really rather have, just an army of Christians behind us so that we can use those dollars as we need to. So they can give to us directly. They can put us in their estate planning, IRA distributions, stock, land. We can, if they want to give it, we'll figure it out.
There's, you need philanthropic help.
Yes.
I mean, and then that's true today of the ministries of it. It's really true of a vast majority of the ministries we highlight on Bay Focus. That's why we do this show. We are trying to connect our viewers to ministries and faith-based organizations and community organizations that help. Okay, for viewers watching, they can donate how?
Through our website, selahfreedom.com.
Okay, and they can designate donate. And then for those who need help, there's an
The
800
1
number.
800 number. Yeah, it's on our website as well.
Yeah, yeah, and we're going to put that on the screen because you may be watching today and caught into a lifestyle and you're a victim yourself, victims themselves that are watching or know of someone that could do this. All right, give us the information on the gala again.
Yeah, it's October 22nd in Tampa and November 14th in Sarasota. Daryl Strawberry.
And how is there? There's a QR code, right? That
there
we can
is.
show that they can register.
And also to the website. You can go right there and purchase tickets. Sponsorships are still available. If a company wants to sponsor a church, wants to buy a table, we still have room available.
Oh, they could do, okay, so you could do a table sponsorship as well. All right. Okay, well, Stacy, thank you so much. I think we've covered a whole lot of ground on this. I think I'm just so impressed with the results that you're having, and I know this is good ground for our viewers. Thank you for being on the program today. And I want to encourage you, those of you watching right now, that this is a ministry I can highly recommend. I mean, I want to mention too, not only has Selah Freedom been on Bay Focus, but CTN as a network has participated and been at their events, and this is a ministry known to us. So I want to highly recommend that as well. And I also think, the NOMORE Foundation, we can highly recommend as well, that we talked to early in the show. So stay tuned. On the screen, you're going to see a little bit more about the upcoming gala for the Selah Freedom Foundation. Stay tuned. We will be right back with more of Bay Focus. Well, we've highlighted two organizations today, the NOMORE Foundation and Selah Freedom, both working to help people get involved in the foster care system, working with orphans, also working with awareness, education, human trafficking, rescuing victims of human trafficking. I hope you will support them, particularly at their upcoming galas, which we've told you about. And I want to thank you for tuning in this week. I want to stay connected with you. You can contact me here at Bay Focus. We will see you next week for another program. May God richly bless you.